Alcohol has always been an innate part of our culture. Each of us live inside a framework that encompasses what we know and the way we see things. For many of us, alcohol has been a part of that framework. It has or continues to drive an experiential connection. It is acceptable in almost all social situations, from weddings to sporting events to funerals and baby showers. For many of us, our greatest memories are celebratory in nature, and often alcohol has been a part of that occasion. So for many of us, abstaining from drinking is the exception, not the rule. And numerous studies will only highlight the extremes of both sides, from the health benefits of a glass of wine to no alcohol is safe ever. And that's what studies are for. And they too will continue to evolve and change, but for many of us, this choice does not need to be absolute. What should be absolute is having a choice, and a good one at that. And so we demand better options exist, so the choice to drink or not drink is truly ours. In late 2021, I launched Blind Tiger. For those that might not be aware, Blind Tiger was a moniker for speakeasies during the Prohibition era. Illicit establishments would advertise by putting a stuffed animal, often a tiger, in a window to alert patrons of the availability of alcohol. These illicit establishments were so popular that by the time Prohibition ended, it was told that nearly 100,000 speakeasies existed in New York alone. But the reason for their popularity was clear. By providing alcoholic beverages, illicit bars gave patrons what they no longer had, a choice, at a time when legally there wasn't a choice to be had. This is why Blind Tiger was founded. We originally sought to create better beverage alternatives, to redefine the way we drink, but in a way that was inclusive, and to encourage the fact that it's easy to make good decisions when there are no bad options. But there is more. What many of us don't recognize is one of the more profound impacts speakeasies had was they redefined inclusivity. In spite of their underground nature and the exclusiveness they effused, speakeasies created social interactions between people of different backgrounds, races, genders, and social ranks. Rich and poor, black and white, men and women, joined together at a time separation was the norm. Women were not accepted into bars prior to Prohibition, and because of the speakeasy, mixed-race interactions rose, and the freedom of women expanded. While race was still a major issue, it was during this time African American musicians were being recorded for the first time in history, and such the Jazz Age ensued. Women also won the right to vote shortly after the 18th Amendment, bringing along this newfound freedom and mindset. In essence, speakeasies drove change and redefined inclusivity. This is our vision. Blind Tiger seeks to create an environment that encourages those to be inclusive of all, in any social setting, providing opportunities so that many of us can change that framework within which we live. But in order to drive us forward, I first need to take you back. In 2017, I opened a speakeasy bar and restaurant in Northwest PA. What you just saw was the bookcase entrance into the establishment. It was the first of its kind in our region, with a cocktail menu that challenged some of the finest craft cocktail bars in major cities. It became a popular destination to not only our local community, but for those traveling throughout the region. And then COVID hit. In March of 2020, we essentially started operating under the laws of the 18th Amendment. We were mandated to take out only, and in Pennsylvania, you were not legally allowed to sell alcohol to go. Our main issue is that 90% of our sales were bar sales, so we had to change course, and as a result, Blind Tiger was born. Our speakeasy was the impetus to Blind Tiger. Our initial concept was to produce a non-alcoholic product that gave the consumer an option. 1, to enjoy all the complexity a classic cocktail had to offer without the alcohol, or 2, a sophisticated cheat code where all you had to do is add the spirit. But this was just the impetus. So why us and why now? Because we are back in a movement of social change. In the last year alone, non-alcoholic spirits experienced the largest growth in sales among the non-alcoholic drinks industry in the United States. In 2021, these sales hit $3.3 billion and saw 113% growth in the non-alcoholic spirits market alone. Consumers are demanding better options. We not only recognize this, but also want to drive it. And it only begins with our product. So this is where we come full circle. Blind Tiger will be more than a beverage. It will be an experience, an opportunity to allow others to connect and grow. We take the roots of where we began and we bring it back home. We not only believe better options must be had, but they must live in places that are accessible. As such, we are taking our original concept, our speakeasy, and redefining it through locations throughout the U.S. Each location will be unique, with its own identity, but with all the experiences that the speakeasy once knew, and will come to know again. And in the end, Blind Tiger will create an environment that drives inclusivity in all social settings.
Cheers to you, world. It's the 20s after all, and the future looks bright.
And as such, welcome back to the Roaring 20s.